What's up, guys? Welcome back in for another episode of Blonde Ambitions podcast. Today, I have another amazing guest. He's an actor, he's a producer out of the Bay Area in California. Today, guys, I've got Airric Qualls with me. Welcome in, Eric. How you doing?
Good. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Oh, of course. Thanks for coming on. I did a lot of research on you, and I'm pretty impressed with a lot of the work that you've been doing and have done. Before we get into all of that, I really love what you're doing with the 11th Hour Creatives. Why don't you go ahead and tell us about that and how it all got started?
Yeah, so 11th Hour Creative started, say, 2 years ago. I was having lunch with the creator, executive producer of the group. Her name is Priscilla. And we were just talking about how we want to create a Bay Area film group where we just go out and just make stuff. We don't have to worry about pretty much all the loops it takes, to make a film. Let's just see, if any of our friends locally in the Bay Area are down to do something. And so we've been around for about 2 years now. First year in existence, we made about 3 short films, and 2 of them went to film festivals. The first one was just a test, just to see what we can come up with. And, it was kind of rocky, but it is what it is. But one of the last 2 short films we did went to a lot of film festivals called Brave Maker in the Bay Area, the Berkeley Real Film Festival. And then we actually went to Indie Night Film Festival in LA at the TCL Chinese Theater. So yeah, we've been doing some great work.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is great because on the podcast, I like to give really good information for actors out there. And I love that you're talking about these short film festivals. And it's just been like a constant topic in these episodes that I have, is that it's so important to do what you're doing, with these short films and entering them into these film festivals, and being a producer and an actor in all of these short films that you're creating, being at those film festivals. How important is that for you as an actor, do you think? Give some advice there.
Well, just me, if I don't have anything at the festival, I'll still show up just to meet people, because you never know what can come out of it. I was just at Brave Maker, like I mentioned before, during the July of this year, and I didn't have a film in there, but I met somebody who directs TV episodes for Abbott Elementary, and he's a really cool guy. So you never know who you could meet. And then as a filmmaker too, if you are submitting, it's great just to show your work, as of course, show your art, show what you can do, and just don't be afraid to just put yourself out there.
Yeah. Put yourself out there. Just have that confidence. Just do it. Just do it anyway, because like you said, you never know what's going to come out of it. And that's just, I keep telling people you got to get in those short films, do what you can, get with the group of people, shoot some stuff, put it in short film festivals and see what happens. And I love that you said that you go, even though you don't have anything currently in the film festival, you'll still show up. And I like that because, some people don't really think about it like that. So that's a good tip. I like that. And which one do you prefer? Do you like being behind the camera? Or do you like being in front of the camera?
I like being in front. I'm an actor first. That's how I started. I'd say around 2020, 2021 is when I started producing. And the reason why I got into producing is because, you're not getting as many phone calls or emails about, hey, we got a role for you, or I got an audition for you. So you got to start creating your own work. And so that's what I started doing. Just create my own work, just going at it.
Yeah, especially during the pandemic, because that's kind of when it all kind of came down. It was like 2020, 2021, and everything shut down. And so, yeah, I think that's what sparked a lot of these creatives to start creating their own content. And it's great seeing everyone succeeding, really, because if there's nothing going on, you got to make something happen. You can't just wait for someone to give you that opportunity. You got to go out there and get it. So how did you get your start in the entertainment industry? Now, going back to kind of before, how'd you get started up in acting and producing?
So in 2018 is the first time I tried acting. It was theater. And I met a man named Michael Levester. He gave me my first gig ever. I met him on the Sac State's campus here in Sac. So I'm from Sacramento, by the way.
Yeah.
So I'm from Sacramento, and I met him on Sac State's campus, and he gave me his business card for the play that he's gonna do. And we joke about it all the time. He always says that, oh yeah, he took one good look at me and was like, I don't know if this guy's gonna show up. But showed up anyways. I was nervous as hell for the audition, and I was surprised I booked it because they called me 10 days later and said that they wanted me for the role. It was a lead part in a play. And I said, yeah, I'll do it. And then once we hung up and got off the phone, it's like, oh crap. Okay. I've never done this before. So, all right, how do I memorize lines? Well, I memorize all the songs from my favorite album so I can memorize lines. That's how I looked at it.
Honestly, that's truly how I thought too. When you're in the car and you're singing the song, I was thinking to myself, how do I, you don't even study the words or anything. You just know. Or like the TLC Waterfalls rap, I've known that since I was like in the 6th grade,
Yeah,
and it's like I can memorize these 2 pages right here. Like, come on. So you end up doing that project, the theater project?
I did.
How'd
I
that
did.
go? Yeah.
It went really well. We had some sold out shows at the Guild Theater in Sacramento. We had about 4 or 5 sold out shows. It was pretty popular for when it came out. And then that was about it. We had plans to possibly go on tour with it, try to maybe go to the Fox Theater in Oakland. But, things didn't work out. But that's okay. I had fun with it. And I found something that I love to do. And after I got done with the theater gig, I said, okay, I like theater. I will come back to it eventually, but I want to do film. So how do I get into film? And so I started researching the local film community in Sacramento in the Bay Area. And I just started to find my people.
That's awesome. I love that. And then was born the 11th Hour Creatives, which is it's
Like,
crazy how.
yeah, 3 or 4 years later.
What advice would you give to somebody now that you've been on both sides of the camera, really, as an actor or as a filmmaker? What advice would you give to somebody wanting to start doing that?
To anybody who wants to start acting is first like go audition for community theater just to see if you enjoy the process of what it takes to be an actor. Yeah, go audition for community theater. And if you don't like it, then it's okay. You tried it, but you just need to see what it's like to either be rejected or book the role. And then, of course, if you book the role, great. Now you get to see what it's like to actually be on stage or in front of the camera. And then my advice for anybody who wants to start producing, I would say for sure reach out to people who have done it before locally, who have done it at a high level very successfully. I'm grateful that I have a lot of people in my corner who are very successful in this business that I can reach out to no matter what. And they always have my back.
Yeah, it's really important to surround yourself with those kinds of people.
Yeah.
And it takes a minute to find your people, really.
Yeah.
Like you found your people in community theater and it just kind of blossomed from there. It's really hard to find your place. And I personally struggle with rejection just in any way in life in general. So this business is hard, but it made me want to be better. And then that's kind of where you figure out, okay, this is not for me. My skin isn't thick enough for this. Let's talk about your YouTube channel and the AK Film Group. Go ahead and tell us what that's all about.
So let's say about a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, my friend Farrell and I, who is a screenwriter, quite simply, we were just tired of waiting around just for opportunities. And we decided to say, okay, let's create our own channel, our YouTube channel for our own short films. There's somebody in the Bay Area who's been making short films who we really admire. We've been watching his work since 2020. And I said, okay, why not us? Let's start doing our own thing. Like, I've got 11th Hour in the Bay Area, but out here in Sacramento, it's with AK Film Group. So we started making our films about a year ago. And we try to shoot once a week. That was the whole idea of the channel, was to release a short film once a week. And we've been doing pretty good with it. And then it was like, okay, it's starting to get a little bit harder, but that's okay. We release now maybe like once every 2 weeks. But it's still a lot of content, still a lot of work that we do. And we're very proud of how far we've came with it.
Yeah, it's a great channel. You got some really great short films on there. You've actually got one that's called 38, and it's directed by Dion Taylor and Omar Joseph. And tell us about that film, and that's going to be coming out soon too, right?
Yeah, so 38 was actually directed by Reggie Waters. He actually created the idea, and my friend Farrell helped co-write it. Jan and Omar helped executive produce the film. We met them a long time ago. We kind of just ran into each other more often. And then I saw Dion and Omar at a local film festival in Sacramento. And they asked us, what we've been up to, what we're working on. We just told him, yeah, we're working on a few short films. And then he asked us, how he can help. And me and Farrell looked at each other. It was like, is this happening? So he's like, yeah, how much do you guys need? X amount. I don't want to say the amount right now. we need X amount. And he said, all right, bet. I'm going to send it to you. And I was like, really? Wow. It took me a couple times to follow up with them to get the money. But yeah, they invested into us. We're very super grateful for that, and it's been a challenge making the film, but you know we're getting it done for sure.
Yeah, that's going to be good. I'm excited to see that. For your films, do you guys use the same actors, or are you always looking for new talent, or how does that process work?
I'm always seeking out new talent. People come up to us all the time now asking to collaborate with the channel, and we're very open-minded people. We're an open door. I'm very picky about the ideas I do for my films because I love crime dramas, I love sci-fi, I love street films, I love very gritty films, horror
Mhm.
films. I love all that stuff. So there's certain genres that you might not see me do that people have ideas for. And I was like, well, okay, well, I might be open to that. I need to branch out. So let's see how it works. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I've done that before, but it has to be a really good idea for me. But yes,
like
we
a
are an open door.
rom-com. You're not doing any rom-coms or anything. Or is
I,
that
you know what?
something you're open to?
I am open to doing that. It's just like I said, you won't probably find me writing it,
Yeah.
but someone approached me with the idea, and I actually like it a lot. I was like, yeah, okay, let's do it.
Yeah, certain genres just don't click for some people. What keeps you motivated to get up every day and choose to do this work that you do, which is amazing, by the way.
Thank you. What keeps me motivated? I'm not holding an Oscar yet. I'm not holding an Oscar, an Emmy, a Golden Globe. I'm not where I want to be. So I keep moving forward. I keep shooting. I keep creating. Somebody eventually will see our work and be like, these guys are legit and they're really good at what they do. Let's give them a shot. Until then, I'm going to keep creating what we're doing
Great
here.
answer. Great answer. That's the mindset you have to have. I'm not there yet. I'm not where I
Yeah.
want to be, but I'm enjoying the journey. You're enjoying what you're doing.
Yeah.
And that's what matters. You have to love what you do. And someone definitely will come across you. And you also up there in the Bay Area, even Sacramento area, you guys have a nice community, actors, producers. You guys have a great community up there that's well connected. So definitely look forward to watching your journey. Yeah. So with the 11th hour creatives, is that different than explain to me again how's that different from the AK film?
So with 11th Hour Creatives, it's ran by a close friend of mine, Priscilla Lamb. And
Right.
with that group in the Bay Area, when we shoot our films, we get a whole crew together, like a lot of people, not just like a bare bones skeleton crew. We're talking about, we get first ACs, we get multiple PAs, we get a lot of stuff that we typically wouldn't do with AK Film Group. We feel like with that out here in Sacramento, we just have our DP. Most likely, I'm directing it. If it's something if I've written, we have our sound guy and we have a PA. And, as far as lighting, we have something help us out with lighting. So our crew is like maybe 4 or 5, when we do
Yeah.
things with AK Film Group. But without the 11th Hour Creatives in the Bay Area, we get together a crew to shoot our short
Yeah.
films. And, it works out. Everyone works differently. That's what I've learned once I've created AK Film Group and helping out Priscilla and Daryl Morkilo, by the way. I haven't mentioned his name, co-producing partner with 11th Hour. Everyone works differently. And, I've started to realize that because, not everyone wants to work with just a bare bones skeleton crew. They want to get like the
Mhm.
whole thing together, which is totally fine with me. Like, makes the film set even bigger to me. So I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, I love a big film set. I worked on a project actually 2 years ago with Lady Gaga actually, and it was huge. It was just huge. It was so fun though. It was actually the very first thing I'd ever done. So it was very intimidating to be, sitting right next to Lady Gaga and, it's like, wow.
Yeah, well,
And there's
congratulations on
hundreds of
that.
people on set. It was pretty intense. It made me realize, okay, this is working with the A-list like that. No joke. She's 10 minutes out. Everyone quiet down. You have to tape. They had to tape our phones, the camera. We had to put tape around our phones so we didn't take any pictures, so we weren't filming. It was insane. It was pretty
Wow.
cool though. But yeah, big sets like that it makes it feel just so real. And
Yeah,
then smaller sets, but I like the smaller sets too because you can be more creative. I feel like you can be more involved in the creative process and you can throw ideas out more. And it's more intimate too, so it's pretty cool that you
yeah.
have both. on your plate. Who in this industry have you always looked up to? Or have you always pulled inspo from?
Dion Taylor. Yeah, Dion Taylor. And my favorite filmmaker right now in the film industry is Christopher Nolan. I love his
Mhm.
films, historical
Yeah,
dramas and sci-fis. That's pretty much what he makes, but I love his films. I'm a huge Nolan fan.
that's cool. That's awesome. Since like you were young, or how long have you?
I mean, he's been around since, the late 90s, but
Yeah.
I really didn't know of Christopher Nolan until I'd say the Dark Knight trilogy.
Yeah.
And I was like in middle school at the time. Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. You're I don't want to tell my age. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. That's awesome. Yeah. So if there's any actors that would, want to connect with you, are you open to that? And if so, how would you like to be contacted?
Yep. I'm open to being contacted. You can contact me on Instagram, which is I'm just simply at Airric Qualls on Instagram. My email is on my Instagram page, so you can contact me that way. And my IMDb also has, I believe, my Instagram and my email too as well. So yeah, you can
I'll put
contact
all
me.
your links too in the chat down below in the description. I'll put all your links down there. So yeah, if you're interested in contacting Airric, uh, do so with those links below. I want to ask you some questions though about you, so we can get to know you a little bit more on a personal level. This is kind of a random one, but if you could witness any historical event, which one would it be?
I would say, I guess maybe MLK speech. Yeah, MLK speech, or maybe when Barack Obama was first elected. It was pretty a big deal. So I'd say that. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, the MLK speech, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Could you imagine just being there, just witnessing that, not even realizing how deep into history that's going to be? It's
Yeah.
so crazy. That's powerful. On a lighter note, are there any talents that you wish that you had? I mean, you're super talented. Is there any one thing that you wish you could do?
I wish I knew how to fly planes like Tom Cruise. Top
Which
Gun.
he does all his own stunts too.
Yeah, he knows how to fly. He knows how to ride bikes. Of course, motorcycles. He's really good with driving sports cars. Car chase scenes in like every Mission Impossible film you could think
Yeah,
of. Yeah, Tom Cruise, like, yeah, he's that guy. He's definitely,
yeah.
if I could be an action star, I'd love to be like Tom Cruise. Yeah.
Yeah. He's been one of my favorite actors my whole life. Top Gun is my favorite movie since I was little. I mean, I was like 8 years old or 9 years old and, reciting lines from that movie. So Tom Cruise hits home for me too. Have you
Yeah.
seen that clip where he's on the bike and they show actual shooting of the scene, and then below they show the actual scene in the movie, and he's on the bike and he's
Yeah.
going off the ramp,
Yeah.
and he
Yeah.
did that? My God. I watched it 20 times. I'm like, holy shit, this guy is like no
Insane.
joke.
Yeah.
He
He's
just has
insane.
no fear.
I've thought about this, if I was to be an action star, do I have the guts to do what Tom Cruise does? I'm like, I might chicken out. I don't know.
We'll leave it to him. He's crazy. Those 90s movies were really just so influential for me. And I feel like a lot of kids, growing up in that era. Is there any shows right now that you're super into?
I am waiting for Shogun to come back because I binge watched the hell out of that show. And yeah, it's phenomenal. I love Shogun. I think it won like 19 Emmys last night. Yeah.
Yeah.
Best show on
Yeah.
TV. No argument. Go argue with a wall. No argument.
That's funny. Going back to your films and stuff, what I was thinking is what a great way to kill two birds with one stone is to create your own content. And then you could throw these up on your Actors Access. You could have clips from these on your casting networks.
Mhm.
So, yeah, you're doing some great work. I would love to have you back on maybe after 38 comes out and
Yeah.
have a more in-depth talk about, your short film experience, things like that.
Mhm.
I'm sure a lot of people are going to be hitting you up about, wanting to come and check out what you're doing. And so, by the way, what do you look for if an actor is hitting you up, asking you, to come audition? What they need to have a great self-tape set up. I mean, what are your basics? in that?
I just realized I haven't asked many actors to do self tapes. It's been more like, well, all the actors who've been hitting us up have been from, local areas. So really, we just meet up with them, maybe have lunch, or, we meet up with them at a Starbucks, and more of just seeing them face to face just to get to know them, talk to them a little bit. I haven't really asked actors to do self tapes. And then the main question is I ask them, what kind of roles do you want to do? Because that's the reason why I started producing my own content, is because I wasn't doing the roles that I wanted to partake in. So it's like, all right, well, I gotta start creating my own stuff so I could show people how I view myself. So I get a whole bunch of stuff. I met up with a lady. I met up with a lady for lunch, and she's always being stereotyped, or typically, what's the word I'm looking for?
Yeah,
Typecast.
typecast, typecast.
Yeah, she was typecast. She's always typecast as a mom or a school teacher. And I was like, that can get you far on network TV. You make a lot of money doing that. So I told her that. So she has a new perspective, but of course she wants to do more things. And so looking at her, she has a lot of tattoos. She's a very nice person. But when I look at her, I'm thinking, okay, you look like you could be in the John Wick universe. Like, you look like you're the head of an assassin group for some reason. With all the tattoos and
Ah,
the hairstyle, you just feel like you belong in the John Wick universe. So maybe I'll write a short film. I'm playing an assassin, and I always got to report to you. You're like my handler. But we're an assassin group.
it's really important to find your types because you're kind of floundering out in the water, not really sure where to start if you don't know what your types are. And
Yes,
it's cool to see what people's different perspectives are. Ask random people that don't know who you are or don't know you on a personal level and ask them, hey, what kind of shows do you think I would be in? Just
yes,
looking at me, what do you think?
yep,
Teacher, mom, whatever. And I get the same typecast too, just because of the blonde hair and the Elle
really.
Woods type. Yeah, all the time. But yeah, I like the more deeper stuff like that, something more that I can really delve into and really find just give that character that justice. Oh, I want to really work for that character.
Right. Well, it's good to have a foundation. So yeah, make sure you know your type. Shout out to Wendy
Yeah.
Elaine Wright in Hollywood Winter Circle.
There you go, Wendy, Mama Wendy,
Yes.
Auntie Wendy. We love Wendy. Once you find your types, you'll find your way, you'll find your
Mhm.
clips, then you'll really get into the world of creating and things like that.
Think outside the box.
Well, Eric, yeah, I definitely want to have you back on. I think that we didn't talk about as much as I wanted to. When does 38 drop, by the way?
We will have it done by Halloween because,
Oh, soon.
yeah, we will have it done by Halloween. That's the plan, because we want to go down to LA to show Dion what we've created, what he's invested into. So that's the plan.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Are you guys going to have a screening or red carpet and all that?
We talked about it. We would like to. We would like to showcase multiple short films, not just 38 for an event like that. But of course, 38 would be the main film everyone came to see. But yeah, we've thought about like some kind of red carpet event. Hopefully, we do one.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Get people coming, seeing your work. Networking so important. Well, Eric, thank you for coming on. I'm going to put all your info in the description. At the end of every podcast, I like to ask, what is your ambitious goal for the week?
My ambitious goal for this week is to get a short film done for the YouTube channel, and I have to write it by tomorrow night and send it to my DP. That way we can get it done. And it's called The Assassin's Poem. So it'll be on the AK YouTube channel, hopefully within a month. And yeah,
Awesome. I'm going to be looking out for that. Also, I'm going to start sharing your stuff too on my stories.
thank
If
you.
all your short films are great. Yeah, they
Thank
really
you.
are so good.
What's your favorite
Um,
one?
I really liked Suicide Pit, I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
Suicide Pit was great. I like the deep stuff. I think it really resonates with people. I think it's a really great topic to talk about. I don't think it's talked about a lot.
Yeah.
I think that mindset and mental health is very important and that we need to normalize it a little bit more. I think that it should be celebrated that people go to therapy and they strengthen their mental health. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
So yeah, Suicide Pit was pretty good. It stuck with me. a little bit, but I have good feelings about 38. I'm excited about that one.
Yes.
So,
Have you seen the poster for it?
no, I haven't.
I have to send you the poster. I
Send
have
me
to
the
send.
poster. I'll share the poster. It's probably
Yeah.
great. By the way, I make movie posters or TV posters and now the covers if you are interested. I do
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
Like a little side
Cool.
thing I do. So anyway, Eric, I'm going to have you back on. I'm excited for that. And thanks for coming. It was
Thank
great
you for
having
having me.
you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Eric. Thanks for watching, guys. What a great episode that was with Airric Qualls. I definitely didn't get enough time to ask him all the questions and dig deep like I wanted to. So we're going to have a part 2 with Eric and somebody else that he worked on the short film 38 with. And we're going to circle back in November, and I'm going to give you guys a nice, juicy episode that talks all short films, film festivals, how important they are. Eric is going to be going to Sundance in January, so we're going to talk about that. So stay tuned. And as always, you guys, thank you for your amazing support. Love sitting here and doing this podcast week after week and having amazing guests on that can share tangible information regarding mindset, mental health, and acting, entertainment industry. So please send this to your friends. I think this is relatable to anybody. It's just a fun listen that you can learn from and dig and get some inspiration deep down inside. Also, don't forget to ask yourself, what's my ambitious goal this week? Bye.